Hi, my gorgeous, beautiful souls. I am Lady Stars and Fire. My real name is Michelle Espinosa. This is the weekly healing messages for 11 November, November 10th through November 18th. So this is the week of 11/11. But that energy isn't just going to be one day long. Oh, no. It never quite works like that, does it? The energy is definitely starting. It's already started, but you're definitely going to start feeling it more on the 10th, the 11th, and then you have the full moon on the 12th, which is in Taurus. But this isn't just, the energy building at this time. See, Spirit went and redirected me. This is actually a cycle that's closing after 99 years, taking us back to 1920. But let me just stop right there. Let me come forward for a minute. This whole month is like about soul and self restoration. But this moment is like the soul resolve. This is like the eye of the storm. You know how like if a tornado comes through or a hurricane comes through, they always say, in the eye of the storm, it seems to be calm. That's pretty much what you've been feeling, is the calm of the storm. But you can feel the storm all around you. It just, part of it isn't sinking in, you know what I'm saying? You can feel all the energies, but that's because it's building up. It's the rising up. It's like getting ready, like if you have the water on the stove and it's starting to bubble, but it hasn't gone overboard yet. It hasn't actually come over and steamed over and started to go everywhere, more or less. This is what you're feeling, and you're probably going to feel some of that overload this week, but you're still truly only in the eye of the storm. I've been trying to remind everybody we're going in between two new moons of Scorpio. That right there says a lot, because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars. And their energy is very commonly the same, yet different. Remember, Mars actually has been in Libra, where it's not at its strongest. And it's down to its last week of, trying to go back and forth and, well, does this look good? Does this look good? Is this the right way? Let me, sit in this meeting and figure this out. He's not his normal Mars energy. Mars energy is your passion, your action, your fire, your aggression. Mars is like I said, in a meeting, in Libra. It's like, let me get all my facts straight, and let me organize this and dot my T's and, not dot my T's, dot my I's, cross my T's, make sure that everything's straight. And he's about to move into Scorpio, his home sign. One of them. And so he's finishing up the meeting. He's finishing going over the organization of it. And he's about to move into action next week. In Libra, this is him still figuring that energy out. And then, jumping over into where he's going to start taking place with all of the Scorpio energy. Right before the sun moves out. While Mercury is still in retrograde in Scorpio. And we're coming to the second new moon. Yeah, this week on the 12th, that full moon is bringing all the energy from the last full moon and what you haven't understood of the first new moon in Scorpio. Not to mention, like I said, it's soul resolve, but we have so much root chakra, solar plexus, root chakra, sacral chakra, and solar plexus energy coming through right now. Trying to reground, reformulate a plan, reroute, refoundation. 11/11, which is the alpha. The alpha learning how to be a better alpha. Okay? You're seeing this energy as Mars moves, comes home to Scorpio. You're feeling it. I've been given also by Spirit, it is Mercury, but it's the Roman god Hermes, And that's how this all started, because Spirit started redirecting me for this healing messages. And they give me that Roman god, which happens to have like wings on his helmet. And he's, instead of holding what he's normally holding, he's holding a disc, but it's actually the sun. And he's just about to throw it. You got to understand, Hermes, which is Mercury. Mercury is not positive or negative. Doesn't give a damn. He's your communication. Holding the sun, which he's about to cross over, which is exactly what he did in 1920, this very week. Okay? And you also have them having that very conversation with Aries, Chiron in Aries, which they did in 1920 this very week. In fact, this week and next week. So it's definitely going over that cycle of coming to an end of a 99-year cycle. Now, you haven't been alive typically for all of that, but that doesn't mean the energy is still not happening. This is going through this major change, this major shift. Mercury, like I said, Hermes, from what I'm being given by Spirit, is he's got the disc, which happens to be the sun, and he's just throwing it. And what I get is, man, don't shoot the messenger. He's just the communication. He doesn't care if it's positive. He doesn't care if it's negative. Coming out of Scorpio, ruled by Pluto and Pluto and Saturn, not Saturn, Pluto and Mars, which is about to shift. Oh, and don't let me misunderstand. Mars happens to have been exactly where Pluto is now in 1920. Their energies, like I said, are very similar, although Pluto is the I'll kick down the door, where Mars is the warrior. Pluto is like the commander. Okay? So this energy now is even more potent. Even more potent, even more strong, putting an end to the cycle. And it speaks to us, it speaks to us of being in the very eye of the storm. And what does the eye of the storm speak to us of? Oh, sweetie, you're on the edge of everything that you can change, see, create, and be. Or you are on the edge of everything you never will be. Free will. Choice is yours. But like I've been saying, this is still the eye of the storm. This is still Mars in Libra until the next week, until that new moon fully comes through. So this does change the energies of that passion, that action, that aggression, that warrior, that let me move into action. He's still in delegation of the meeting. Even though this may feel like Mercury's like going, man, don't shoot the messenger. I just give out everything I got to give out. Remember, Scorpio energy. I kind of see Scorpio energy as, man, I just met you tonight. We're drunk and I'm happy and I love you. So let's get married. It's all great. And then tomorrow when you wake up and you're sober and you're like, who the fuck are you? Get the fuck right out of my house. Want nothing to do with you. Scorpio can shift just that easily. It's fully in its emotions no matter what it is, for the positive or the negative. It's so blunt. So it's very much Mercury picking up the sun in Scorpio is just going to be, don't shoot the messenger. I am giving you the illumination you need to see for this full moon so that you can redirect yourself come that new moon in Scorpio for redirection, restoration, rebirth, and regeneration. It's time to cut the cords and let the shit die. But to understand exactly what is right and what is wrong. And if there's any way that you've missed it, Scorpio on the 10th, 11th, and 12th, the moon crossing the sun, right before that full moon, in Taurus, Oh, that illumination is going to be put right in your face for you to know exactly what the truth is and what you are either out of place on or what you need to know to make changes in. It's that simple. In 1920, when we also saw these energies, on 11/11, 2 years in a row, is when they set the tomb of the unknown soldier. That speaks volumes. Just hear me through. And I say this twice because it happened first outside of the United States. Then they brought the tomb home, both on 11/11. The tomb of the unknown soldier. Plus we have the energies coming in of Bloody Sunday. That was the Irish War for independence. The unknown soldier, independence. 99 years ago. 99 speaks to us about leadership. It speaks to us about wisdom. It speaks to us about intelligence and skills that will elevate your life. This is all about changing. But like I was saying when we first were speaking about that first new moon in Scorpio, this is about acknowledging how and when and where to set the proper preparation for the leap of faith with the proper knowledge, because you've taken the proper preparation. Mercury is going to throw anything you need to know at you in communication in a way that you cannot miss it, unless you just downright have your head up your own ass and don't want to hear anything other than what you have to say. And then again, Mercury retrograde. So it may just turn around and kick back, backfire, blow up in your face if you do have your own head up your own ass. Sorry. Like I said, we all get a little self-centered. We all get a little bit narcissistic when Mercury's in retrograde. In Scorpio, it's so blunt, it's so bold, but we forget it's inwardly evaluating, which is a mirror. That's shadow work. So everything that we're seeing is part of the very shadow of what we need to acknowledge about being the better alpha for our own life, about being the better leader. I'm also being given 44, which speaks to us about business, confidence, balance, efficiency, discipline, focus, and consciousness. This is going to be a very bold, powerful week to ask you, are you being a good leader? Are you ready to take on that leadership? Not necessarily is it always about doing it in ways so that you're having your pride be noticed. The unknown soldier. It's about doing the right thing for you in here. Not about what society says. About the changes you need to know, you need to create to get right with this. I love you guys. Bye.